The Utah Jazz are one of the biggest surprises in the NBA this season. When Danny Ainge shipped off Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert over the offseason, most thought the Jazz were going to tank for Victor Wembanyama. But instead, the Jazz are one of the best teams in the NBA, currently ranking first in the West with a 12-6 record. A lot is going well for Utah, but the main reason for this hot start has been the incredible play of Lauri Markkanen. This season, he looks like a completely different player from what he's been his entire career. On the season, he's averaging 22 points and 8 boards a game on a super efficient 65% true shooting percentage. So how is Lauri playing at this high level in his 6th season and leading the Jazz to the 1 seed? First, let's backtrack. Lauri Markkianen was the 7th pick for the Bulls back in 2017. He showed plenty of potential his first few years in the league. In fact, he averaged just under 19 points per game by his 2nd season, but he had some severe flaws in his game that prevented him from reaching stardom. He was a good 3-point shooter, but he wasn't a good finisher around the basket, post-up player, or a good mid-range shooter. He was also incredibly inconsistent, and along with being a one-dimensional offensive player, he was also a poor defender, unable to defend the perimeter, but also not good enough to defend centers or protect the rim despite being 7 feet tall. Lauri got a change of scenery when he was traded to the Cavaliers in 2021, and while his numbers didn't really improve, he was a good role player on a Cavaliers team that was surprisingly good. He improved a lot defensively, so much so that the Cavaliers were playing him at small forward alongside 2 other 7-footers in Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. But while Lauri was playing good basketball in Cleveland, he knew he wasn't close to his ceiling, and he gained a new opportunity when he was traded to the Utah Jazz right before the start of this season. Now in Utah, Lauri has added a bunch of new skills to his game that has helped him to become a versatile scorer. For starters, he's got a very good face-up game. He could put the ball on the floor and drive by defenders to get all the way to the rim, and his finishing has been great this year, shooting 73% within 5 feet of the basket. He can also create mid-range looks for himself out of these face-ups as well, and he's been extremely efficient when taking these types of shots. An area of his game that's really gone up in Utah is his post-up game. In Chicago, he was barely a post-up threat even with a small player on him. But now he's gotten stronger, which is allowing him to back down defenders, and he's got good moves down low, whether it's a hook shot or a fadeaway. And while Lauri is a good scorer in isolation, he's also very good off the ball. He's an excellent cutter, knowing how to cut hard to the basket the second his man takes his eyes off of him, which has led to him getting plenty of wide open layups and dunks. And he's also a good 3-point shooter, currently knocking down 37% of his threes. And at 7 feet tall with a high release point, few defenders can bother his outside shot. He also runs the floor really well for a big man, so he gets plenty of easy baskets running hard in transition. He's also a deadly scorer in the pick and roll. Lauri plays with 2 good ball handlers in Mike Conley and Jordan Clarkson, and he's able to get plenty of good looks running 2-man game with them, whether it's a 3-pointer out of the pick and pop or a bucket right at the rim after a roll to the basket. Overall, Lauri Markkanen is a scoring machine, but he's also a solid passer for a big man. His passing isn't going to blow you away. He's not Nikola Jokic out there, but he's shown the ability to make the right reads, whether it's passing out of double teams or driving the ball and finding the open man. He can also grab a rebound and immediately take the ball up the court and create an easy basket for his teammate in transition. I've also been impressed from what I've seen from Lauri on defense. He's got good lateral quickness for a 7-footer, and he puts in effort which allows him to stay in front of fast perimeter players. He also rotates over to provide help defense, and he's able to force misses at the rim, but he is limited as a rim protector. He's only got a 6'11" wingspan, so he'll never average a high amount of blocks. I'm not blown away by Lauri's defense, but overall, I would say that he's a pretty decent defender. You have to give Lauri tons of credit because he's turned his weaknesses into strengths in Utah, and he's been one of the top players in the league so far this season. If Markkanen can sustain this type of production, he'll definitely be a strong candidate to make the All-Star team. Utah's record will have a significant impact on those chances though. If Utah remains a top 2 seed, or at least remains in the playoff picture, he'll more than likely make his first All-Star team. But anyway guys, that's going to be it for me. Do you think Lauri can sustain this level of play? Do you think he'll make the All-Star team? Tell me in the comments. Please drop a like on the video and hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed this, and click this video to see how the Utah Jazz are shocking the world.